Now, a United Nations investigation has resulted in a damning verdict against its own humanitarian mission in Zimbabwe. It says it was guilty of managerial ineptitude, high-handed conduct and bad faith. The tribunal was examining UN operations in Zimbabwe during a cholera outbreak that began in 2008. The investigation found UN bosses ignored warnings by a senior member of staff because they didn't want to upset the government of Robert Mugabe. 4,000 people died and tens of thousands were infected. Well, Robert Armstrong is the lawyer for George Tadonke, a senior UN official who was fired after trying to warn his superiors about the cholera risk. And Robert joins us now from London. Robert, good to have you with us. This is a landmark case, isn't it? The tribunal has awarded your client moral damages, and I gather the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has to make him a full public apology.
Yes, it's a very significant decision, but more importantly for Dr. Tadonke, it exonerates him after these false accusations, and it will let him get back to his life and his humanitarian commitment. But yes, it's a critically important decision. So
just to clarify, Dr. Tadonke tried to warn of the impending crisis when it started, the cholera outbreak started in 2008, and he was forced out of his job because his superiors were allegedly trying to protect Zimbabwe's government, so they didn't want to act on what he told them.
Well, essentially, the political violence that he predicted and his good work were basically denied by individuals who had an alternative agenda, an agenda that involved cozying up to the government, perhaps for purposes that were proper or improper. That was never decided, but clearly Dr. Tadonke was treated savagely, and the point of a humanitarian mission is to not only be humanitarian in terms of their impact, but also to treat their staff properly. And Dr. Tadonke was the third person in this job. His predecessors had also been savagely treated. And the Assistant Secretaries General who put him in this position knew the internal problems he faced and still subjected him to this veritable torture.
So the tribunal has now said that there should be disciplinary action against 4 very senior UN officials, including the former humanitarian chief John Holmes. Clearly, this is not the end of it. What's going to happen next?
Well, I truly hope that it is the end of it, that Dr. Tadonke is allowed with his family to get back on with their lives, that payment and some form of restitution is made, and that OCHA stops this continuous abusive process that's gone on and allows the man to recover. He was just involved in a serious accident. He's been denied access to his pension. He's been victimized every day, not only in Zimbabwe, but right up until this moment as we speak. It's time for that victimization to end.
Well, just to let you know, OCHA has actually told Al Jazeera that it's going to appeal the decision.
Well, we will petition Ban Ki-moon to attempt to finally get this victimization to stop, because there is nothing to appeal. Their conduct has been abusive. It has been so found by 3 senior judges. It took 2 years to get the decision, and enough is clearly enough.
Robert, thank you very much indeed for that. Robert Amsterdam joining us live from London there.